Welcome back, everybody, to Get Your Man On. This is Evan Bass, and I am so excited about this segment with Justin, my friend, very, very close friend, who's a physician's assistant and has seen thousands of men for ED and low T. We're going to have him on here in just a second, and we're going to find out, does horny goat weed from your neighborhood gas station really work? I can't tell you how many guys I've heard that have said, yeah, I tried the horny goat weed at the gas station and didn't do anything for me except made my heart palpitate. Just like that. I know it's palpate. Okay, relax. All right, fine. Okay, let's connect, you guys. If you want to go to getyourmanon.com and give me your best stories, I want to hear questions about ED, about low T. I want to hear all the things. Give me a story about a really bad sexual encounter you have. I've had a lot of women that are asking some questions, and how do I get my man to get treatment? Those are all really great stuff. So we'll talk about that here in a second. You can do it from your phone or your computer. All right, let's get right into it. I'd like to introduce all of you guys to Justin Turner, who is a physician's assistant. Justin, well, thank you so much for being here.
I appreciate it. It's always wonderful to have an opportunity to talk about men's health with you.
Yeah, we talk. It seems like we talk about it all day, every day.
We do, and, absolutely. Love the studio. Obviously, love the mission that you're on to break down these barriers for these guys seeking treatment. There's something they can do about it, and obviously we're about to discuss it.
Yeah, man, I love that. You're in this mission with me, and we're doing it together. It's how do we break down the barriers and how do we find the best treatments and all that stuff. So I just want to jump right into it, Justin. What are the causes of erectile dysfunction?
Well, there's obviously a list. I normally lead with age as the number one cause. As we get older, it becomes more difficult to get and to maintain an erection. As we get older, blood vessels and nerves break down in the body. Organs that change shape are more affected by those changes. Our eyes have to rapidly change shape to maintain our vision, so our vision weakens as we get older. The vessels around the heart have to rapidly change to maintain our blood pressure, so our blood pressure typically rises as we get older. And obviously with the penis, it has to completely change state. It has to go from flaccid to erect, which is a very complicated process. It requires a lot of pressure. And so, unfortunately, those changes happen throughout the body, but the impact on the bicep or the bone, it's just not, we just don't see it as much. But areas and organs that change shape. And so age is by far what I would consider the number one cause of sexual dysfunction, followed by diabetes. This is America, and obviously one of the biggest diseases that we're faced. You're going to see a higher rate of erectile dysfunction. I would say over 50% of the guys I see are diabetic patients. High blood pressure destroys nerves and blood vessels. Obviously, the nerves have to tell the blood vessels to open. Diabetes are also going to cause more exposure to low testosterone, which is going to obviously impact sexual function. So those are two of the biggest that again, I'm pointing out constantly. You are going to see the cardiovascular diseases. You're going to see coronary artery disease, the hypertension, anything that causes the blood vessels to harden and not change shape is going to increase the impact there for sure. Some just neurological disorders most definitely can impact this. And then medications are obviously a really common problem with a lot of Americans on 2 or 3 medications, especially the high blood pressure medications, especially the central acting drugs like clonidine, or the drugs that have an effect directly on the heart like the beta blockers. Their goal is to decrease pressure, and in order to get good erections, you have to increase pressure there.
Wait, so you're saying that the medications we take can affect erectile dysfunction?
Absolutely. Most definitely can. When a guy comes in, obviously we're going to do physical exam. We're going to review their history. We're going to identify things that we can look at. And medications is always where I start. I always review that before I walk into a room. Because, again, there's some big ones that are very common drugs that are prescribed. They're commonly prescribed because they can help very common medical conditions, and they're very important drugs.
Do you tell guys to stop taking their medication?
No. So every now and then we will have a discussion about substitution of a drug. Beta blockers, again, very common drugs to decrease actually how hard the heart has to work. There are a couple of them that are older drugs that are brilliant at doing that, but they are absolutely, in most cases, going to cause erectile dysfunction. But then there's a newer age drug called Bystolic, which is in that class that has those benefits, but doesn't seem to have as much impact on sexual function. So being a very focused, type of clinic, being very focused in what I do, very seldom am I going to trump an internist or a family care doctor that's been with a patient for 15 years. Most of the time, I'm going to point out, and most of the time, just to be honest with you, it's around treating around the medical conditions and the medications. But there are times we'll get into substitution. There's just a different medication that might work better and not have the impact on sex that we are having at the moment.
Yeah, but you're saying go back to your primary care, go back to your internal doctor and talk to them about making that change, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, great, man. That's cool. Who thinks about that, really? I mean, you think, hey, the doctor's given me the best medication, and they probably are, right, for that condition maybe, or like the first line of defense. But then sometimes I know we've had guys that have come in and have been like, yeah, I've got high blood pressure. And is it high blood pressure that causes ED, or is it the medication that you take for high blood pressure that causes ED?
It's both.
It's
right?
both. Okay.
Yeah, high blood pressure puts pressure on the blood vessels and can break them. Right? Can affect how they work, and so especially long exposure to high blood pressure. That's normally hypertension. Again, in acute states, can cause stroke and can cause death. But normally where high blood pressure gets you is over the long run. That increased pressure across all these small blood vessels causing damage. And again, you increase damage even in the periphery, you're going to have an effect in the central areas like the pelvis, and where we need increased blood flow to have good erections. For sure. But then the medications absolutely cause it, And so again, some of these medications are prescribed because they are the best medications, and we just need to treat around it, right? We need to deal with it. We need guys to live, and we need them to live longer, and we need them to be healthy. And again, some of these medications are necessary for that. Other times, again, we can talk about, whether we can substitute another drug. Hydrochlorothiazide is a good example. It's a water pill, very simple drug, very effective at being a pretty mild drug to control hypertension. But it does cause erectile dysfunction in certain men. So are there other water pills that we could use, other diuretics? There absolutely are. And sometimes just that simple shift to one of those other drugs can make all the difference.
Wow, that's incredible. So you talk about shape shifting. I've never heard of that.
I did go there. Yeah.
You're talking about an organ changing shape, and I've been trying to make my biceps change shape for years, and with some success because of testosterone. Thank you very much. But what specifically causes that shape shifting to happen? What does that process look like in the body?
Well, again, very complicated process.
Just break it down for me.
No, absolutely.
Don't break it. That's about the puns. We can go on.
So, very simply, normally with sexual stimulation, neurons in the brain fire. They release chemicals and neurotransmitters that have a direct effect on blood vessels. Reflexes travel from the brain to the penis. Once they get to the blood vessels, they cause them to start to relax open. Once they start to relax open, blood's going to flow into areas that have less resistance. And so blood flows into that area. And so getting the erection, the start of the erection is a chemical process started by the nerves and with the blood vessels. Once blood starts to fill the penis, the way the penis is designed, there's caverns in the penis. It's the corpus cavernosum. The arteries don't actually get a whole lot bigger. They just kind of open up and blood starts to spill out of those into those caverns.
Spill out,
absolutely. Those caverns start to engorge. Once we reach a certain pressure, arteries, blood flow in, veins are blood flow out. Once we reach a certain amount of pressure, the blood starts to squeeze the veins closed, mechanically flattens them. And so blood can no longer go in and out like it is at the beginning stages of an erection. It's only going in. And so we go from a partial erection to a really firm erection. Orgasm typically is what reverses that process.
Gotcha.
So very simple kind of description.
Did I hear you say to get an erection, you have to have the muscles relax?
Yeah, so we're talking about smooth muscle. We're talking about the lining of the blood vessels. So not talking about your biceps again, right? So,
Sorry, keep trying to make it about me.
we're talking about the actual smooth muscle, which is the lining of the blood vessels. They do relax open. They don't really force themselves open. They relax, obviously increase in diameter, allowing blood flow to come in.
My goodness. So you get excited, but you're actually relaxing something. That's kind of...
You have to relax. We don't walk around erection 24 hours a day because our brain actually turns the penis off.
Speak for yourself.
I know. Sexual arousal, these chemicals actually cause relaxation in the body. That's what opens that pathway to get an erection.
Gotcha. Well, that is illuminating, very fascinating. Okay, when we come back, we're going to keep talking to Justin. We're going to talk about some of the treatments, the best treatments that he's seen, the greatest effectiveness. Again, I got to hear about this horny goat weed at the gas station. Does it work? How does it work? What happens there? We'll see you right back here after the break.